Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we have a task to add louver in this swing door family. I did not make this family, so let's take a look at it and let's look at the parameters inside the family. I will hide first the wall to check the door. Looks like the door panel is a nested family. Let's check the parameters. Here we can see that there's a swing 3D panel, which I'm assuming the door panel can be opened. I think they're using this when they are rendering. And other than that, I think this is just a simple swing door. Let's check and open the door panel. Usually for a swing door family, you don't need to do this. I think they just did this for rendering purposes. Let's open this nested family. This is the modeled panel. And this is the detailed lines that you can see on the plan. This is also a nested family, but let's skip this. In the 3D, you can only see the panel. Let's close this first so we can edit easily. Front elevation, edit extrusion. Here we can see that the dimension parameters are inside the edit extrusion. Although you can do this, I usually don't recommend doing this. I suggest you always use reference planes or reference lines. Let's add the hole for the louver and add dimensions that we need to control. Now let's assign parameters for the dimensions. This is the louver width and the louver height. Always name your parameters properly. This is the distance from the bottom. And the distance from the side. Now we need the louver to be always on the center of the door, so we will create a simple formula for this. Let's make the panel width divided by 2 minus the louver width divided by 2. As simple as that, our louver will always be in the center of the door. Always test and check your parameters before moving forward. Okay, we can see that it's working. Now we will create the louver. Let's open generic model face-based. This is the placement face. And let's open again generic model. In the generic model, we will create a single louver blade. Let's start by creating reference planes. Add dimensions. And assign parameters. This is the louver blade width. And let's use instance. And the louver blade height, again instance. And let's draw the blade. Remember to always lock the lines on the reference planes. Add dimensions for the thickness. And lock the dimensions. Now I will create the diagonal face of the louver. I will add circle first as reference. And rotate this accordingly. And let's add dimension here for the thickness. Lock the dimension. On the front elevation, let's create the length. I'll name it LB length. Again, instance parameter. Align and lock the louver blade to the reference plane. Okay, let's save this. I will name this LB. And let's load this to the face-based generic family. Let's align this on the center. Lock. And assign length. Let's also use instance. Same with the height. And lastly, on the width. I forgot to add material parameter. So let's add LB material. And let's load this again. Let's also add here material parameter. LB material. Again, instance. Align here and lock. Reference plane. And let's add parameter for the height of the louver. On the nested family, we will always use instance parameter. Let's use array. Make this 4 first. From here to here. Again, align and lock. This also to the center. Let's assign integer parameter for the number of louver blades. Instance. And let's create a formula so that the spacing of the louver blades will always be the same. Louver height divided by louver blade height. I think that's it. Let's save this as the louver. And load to the door panel. Now remember, this is a face-based family. Let's add to this face. And I think this louver will always align to the door. Now we just need to align everything. And assign the nested family parameters to this family. You know, you can make this easier, but because the door panel of this family can be opened, that's why it's harder to make. The louver height, the louver width, and the panel thickness. Wait, I think I missed something. I think the length is not working. Let's check this. Okay, I think I did not lock to the length. Let's fix this and load. Check. Load again. Okay, that's it. I think we're done. Let's check if it will work. Okay, it's working. Let's check on the section. Align the bottom of the louver here. And let's load this to the main door family. Here you go. Now you can see that the door panel have louvers. Let's go to plan. The louvers are still visible in the plan, but that's okay. That means we can check if it's working here. Close the door. Now we can see that the door parameters that we created are working. Let's go back to the nested family. Select the louver and go to the visibility setting and check the plan RCP. Okay. And again, let's load this to the main family. Of course, we need to assign parameters also here. For the louver height. And now we're using type parameter. Okay. Do this also in the louver width. And lastly, the distance of the louver from the bottom. You can also add the material parameter, but I'll skip this now. I think that's it. We're done. Congratulations and thank you for staying with me. I'll rename this with louver and save. Finally, let's load this to the project. Let's change this to the louver swing door. Let's change the dimensions of the louver. 1 foot here. 10 inches from the bottom. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this helps you improve your Revit skill. Please like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.